This is All India Radio. Whispers of the Wind. All India Radio, in collaboration with Vigyan Prasar, presents science serial Whispers of the Wind, based on understanding and managing climate change and global warming. Let's listen to episode number 24, titled Global Warming and Emerging New Diseases.
Coming! Hold on, dear. Sagar, you're late.
Oh, come on, Vasudha. It is simply 5:30. 5 minutes this way or that way. Depending on traffic, congestion is usually which makes no difference.
Actually, I was waiting for you for over an hour, so I thought you were getting late.
Is there something? I mean, good news?
Yes, Bhaiya has called from Nairobi. You know, he's coming to India on post-illness rest along with one of his friends working in the World Health Organization.
Oh, so this is reason for this change.
Yes.
And this glow on your face, huh?
Oh, Sagar, come on. I'm simply informing you.
Yes, Vasudha, I can see that.
Are you naughty?
Mom, who's coming?
Your maternal uncle who lives in Nairobi.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Medha, Mama is coming. We are going to have a lot of fun. Endless fun awaits us.
Yes.
What nonsense, Vivek. He's coming here to recuperate from illness, and this moron is thinking about having fun.
Medha.
Now both of you leave the door. At least your papa let him come in.
Exactly, let me come in.
He's coming.
Medha, probably Bhaiya has come. Go and open the door for him.
Okay, Mama. Hi, Mama. Good morning.
Hi, Medha. Very good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well.
So how are you, Prashant? Come here.
Good morning, Didi. Good morning.
Hey, you're looking so weak. Your disease has badly affected you.
Oh, nothing much, Didi. Actually, you love me so much. That's why you are overreacting, you know.
Prashant?
Didi, he's Vikas.
Hello everyone.
Hello, Vikas.
Hello.
You know my friend in Nairobi?
Oh, yes, Prashant. You talked about him on phone, the one who works in WHO.
Right. He works in WHO on a very senior post and he's from India.
Oh, really?
Good morning, Mama. How are you? Hey, Vivek. I'm very much fine. How are you?
I'm good too.
Vikas, he's Vivek, a brilliant student.
Hello, uncle.
Hello Eda, hello. A learned young man, huh?
Vivek, come over here, beta. Let Bhaiya sit comfortably.
Oh, Didi, I'm very much comfortable.
And Vikas, why are you so calm and quiet?
Huh?
You're just like Prashant to me. So feel at home.
Didi, I'm at ease. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yes, Vikas. Don't hesitate. Given liberty to these hooligans.
Hooligans.
Yeah, I mean Medha and Vivek. You will never get a chance to be silent, I'm telling you.
Oh, come on, Papa. Come on. We are not that bad.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Anyway, Prashant, tell me, what happened to you?
Not much. You know, initially I had a high fever for 4 days. And when it was investigated, it turned out to malaria.
Oh, and here your sister became so panicky that I had to go to my doctor friend. And there she took his long interview.
Oh, is it so? And same was the case with my wife. Actually, their malaria is considered so horrible disease that everyone panics.
Really?
And it is different from India.
How are you now? Is there everything all right, Prashant?
Almost. But feeling a bit exhausted. So when I got recuperation leave, I came straight to India to meet you guys.
Good.
Very good. Excellent. Vasudha, bring some tea and breakfast for Prashant and Vikas.
Okay. Give me some time and it will be there.
Okay.
Wow.
Vikas, why are you so reserved and silent? Feel free. You're just like Prashant to us.
No, Jijaji. I'm not silent. I'm just listening carefully.
Okay.
Vikas uncle, don't just listen, keep talking also.
While Ma went to Dr. Shekhar's hospital, we too accompanied her there.
He said that the place where Prashant Mama works was a malaria-free area in 19th century.
Yes, Medha, he was right.
Uncle, then why is it there now?
Because the temperature and other climatic conditions were not favorable before for the vectors spreading malaria parasites.
Which vectors? What do you mean, Uncle?
Mosquito. Mosquitoes spread malaria. Don't you
Okay.
know that?
Yes, yes, yes.
Brilliant student.
I remember. Why now it has become favorable there for mosquitoes? That's what I'm asking.
Because mosquitoes prefer moist and warmer climate to breed.
Correct.
And global warming turned that unfavorable climate into favorable one for them. Isn't it, uncle?
Yes, Medha. This is not only with malaria. It is also happening with many other diseases such as Chagas disease, Leishmaniasis, Lyme disease, babiosis.
But Uncle, what is happening to these diseases?
Vivek, these diseases are either shifting or increasing their zones.
Increasing their zones? Now what does that mean, Uncle?
It means that these diseases are now spreading in those areas where these were non-existent few years back.
Oh,
And these are becoming more severe and intense.
Wow, very good, Medha. How do you know it?
I was there when Dr. Shekhar told it to Ma.
And you know, same thing has happened with malaria in Kenya. That's why people panicked when they got infected with malaria.
Oh.
Global warming and climatic changes affect disease profile in many ways.
Many ways?
Yes, many ways. 1. As I have already informed you that some diseases are expanding their zones such as malaria, dengue, Zika. These are now found in these areas where they were non-existent.
And it will have serious health implications, isn't it?
That's true, Medha. The disease burden will crash the health budget of many developing countries.
True, Prashant. Not only this, it will also adversely affect the global water cycle.
water cycle? Now how does all this factor into this?
Vivek, due to atmosphere, temperature, and heat, the water from ponds, lakes, river, and oceans evaporates consistently.
Yeah, I know all that. Nothing is new about that. These water vapors are condensed in clouds and come down to earth as rain.
Most of it again goes to lakes, ponds, river, or ocean. Some part of it is absorbed by soil and goes to the deeper layers of earth for further use by us through wells, pumps,
And some of it remains frozen on hilltops as ice caps, which ultimately melts and comes in these water bodies.
That's brilliant. I must say, you know everything about water cycle in detail.
Thank you.
This whole cycle of water from water bodies to clouds and to water bodies again is called water cycle.
Okay, so such a simple thing has such a complex scientific name.
Vivek, when global warming heats up the air, this hot air holds more humidity than cool air.
Vikas uncle, then what happens?
In a nutshell, it will cause extremes of seasonal events.
Extremes of seasonal events. Again, I must ask you, what does it mean, uncle?
I'll tell you, Vivek, it means that some areas of Earth experience torrential rains, floods, and hurricanes, while in other areas there will be drought-like conditions, warm winds.
And that's why people started using the term climate changes instead of global warming.
Correct?
Okay.
Climate changes?
Yes, because it does not only increase the global temperature, but many associated climatic changes do occur side by side.
Vikas, I think climatic changes are the main cause of this nuisance.
You are right, Sagarji. Absolutely right. When there is flood, the water accumulates at various places.
And this stagnant water causes more humidity.
Yes, Medha. Humid and warm atmosphere favors growth of mosquitoes and houseflies.
Which in turn spreads malaria, cholera, and diarrhea in these areas.
Absolutely correct, Jijaji. In these circumstances, the sewage treatment facilities of towns are crashed.
But there are special provisions in sewage treatment plant for these emergency situations. This overflow is filtered through some large filters and released to water bodies untreated.
Untreated?
Medha, one cannot hold this water in the human dwelling. It has to go out by whatever possible way.
Prashant, but this way it may pollute water bodies and even the underground water.
Yes.
Yes, Sagarji, it has already happened in Chuck Island of Micronesia. After flood, the number of patients of diarrhea diseases increased there tremendously.
Very correct.
Oh, Vikas, after floods, it does happen here in our cities and rural areas too.
But due to these climatic changes, the disease-causing organisms are also getting resistant to antibiotics and disinfectants.
Vikas, uncle, do these climate changes not affect the organisms and worms, etc., living in the soil?
Yes, Medha, they do. The climatic changes cause change in the soil constituents besides causing changes in the disease-causing organism. Let's take the case of roundworm, the ascaris, and hookworm.
Ascaris, the one which comes out writhing with poop, looking like unsegmented earthworm?
Yes.
And this hookworm?
It looks like miniature ascaris.
Oh.
Both of these worms reside inside human intestine. Larva of hookworm penetrates the intact skin of the soles of barefoot walkers and reaches into the vascular system.
Is it?
I have read about this. From there, they go to lungs and carved into the windpipe of the patient. And from there, they reach their ultimate destination, the intestines. From where they come out with feces again.
And you know, Vivek, in intestines, they suck blood and cause anemia.
Right.
Oh, really?
Medha, both ascaris and hookworm thrive well in the soil when its temperature is 18 degrees centigrade or above. The moisture of soil prevents their eggs and larvae from drying.
And global warming is providing them favorable circumstances. That is why these diseases are emerging in the areas where these were once non-existent.
Yes, you're right, Medha. There are diseases which have eloped for the time being but are returning back at some places.
Hey, returning what? This time I'm the one who has returned back. That too with tea and pakoras.
Yay!
Prashant, I hope you don't have any food restrictions.
Fortunately, none, Didi. Otherwise, I would have to break those restrictions.
Okay, so the meeting is dismissed for now. Hey, children, let them have some breakfast. Let them have bath. You can hang on later if you want. They have come after a long, long journey. Okay, Mama.
Okay.
Come on.
Vikas Bhaiya, would you like to go for shopping?
Nothing much to buy. Just wanted to purchase something for Amma and Bapu. This can be done in the evening also.
Okay, then you must have some rest. Otherwise, this duo will not let you do anything.
Oh, come on, Ma.
Oh, Didi, we are enjoying it, isn't it, Vikas?
Yes, definitely.
On my last visit, both Medha and Vivek were quite young. And see, now they are grown-ups.
Yes, Mama.
Prashant, I must say, this is remarkable. Medha has deep interest in global warming and climate change. This is a good sign that these teenagers are taking interest in these burning issues from this age.
Uncle, nothing remarkable about it. I know what is cause of her interest.
Oh, so you know the reason,
You want to know? She has been assigned a project on this subject. Otherwise, she didn't even took interest in our house drainage. Forget about the global warming.
Vivek. Is it true, Medha?
Yes, Mama.
Have you been assigned a project on global warming?
Yeah, it is global warming and human health.
Oh. So, I must say, you're very lucky, Medha.
How come, Prashant?
Jijaji, because Vikas is the most suitable person to guide Medha on this very subject. It is a part of his job and fortunately, He's here in the hour of need.
Oh, Vikas Bhaiya, do you look after these issues in WHO?
Yes, yes.
Oh, wow. Then it means the meeting should continue now. And you'll not be allowed to take any rest.
I do not need any rest. I am feeling fresh with Medha and Vivek.
Oh, so then let me take the leave. I have to see the arrangements for lunch.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Lunch is most important.
Vikas uncle,
Yes, Medha.
you told us that there are a number of diseases which were considered eloped from Earth, but they are now re-emerging.
Oh, yes. What are those diseases, uncle?
Medha, Vivek, not one, but many.
Many?
Yes, yes. Such as anthrax, monkeypox, Zika virus, cholera, dengue, West Nile virus, hantavirus.
And now these are coming back and emerging in new areas.
Right. In July 2016, herds of reindeer started getting anthrax infection in a short period. And 2,300 reindeers died due to anthrax disease.
But uncle, what is this anthrax?
This infection affects cattle and pet animals, which is caused by bacteria, Anthrax bacillus. Half of the infected cattle die in no time.
And Medha, the people who look after cattle do also get this infection from affected cattle.
Mama, is it dangerous for humans also?
Yes, Medha, in humans, it affects skin, lungs, and intestine. The disease in which lungs are affected is called pulmonary anthrax. Half of the patients of pulmonary anthrax eventually die.
Oh, that's sad. But uncle, we have a vaccine for anthrax, which was originally made by Louis Pasteur.
Right, Medha. Due to this vaccine, we could wipe out this disease in early 20th century. Last patient of anthrax was seen in 1941.
Then what happened in 2016? How it re-emerged?
Quite interesting. Probably carcass of a reindeer that died of anthrax was buried beneath the layers of hard ice 75 years back. Good permafrost.
Oh,
And it remained locked in permafrost until bizarre warm summer temperature thawed the frozen soil and the corpse inside released the anthrax bacteria, which were in suspended animation for 75 years.
sounds like another Jurassic Park story.
Medha in her movies.
Medha, in a short time, 72 people, including 41 children, were hospitalized. And one 12-year-old child and his grandmother died of anthrax.
Oh, very sad and surprising at the same time.
The day may come when you will not be surprised on such happenings.
Vikas uncle, why are you saying it like that?
This is not only the story of anthrax. This is happening with Zika virus disease too.
Zika virus?
Yes. Vivek, Zika virus resembles with dengue and chikungunya virus. All these three are spread by Aedes aegypti, a daytime mosquito which can breed in the bottle cap's worth of rainwater.
That's true.
I know, Vikas uncle, dengue fever. In this, platelets in the blood are reduced in number and rarely bleeding may occur from different parts of body, which may kill the patient.
And Medha, chikungunya is also a viral fever with severe joint pain. And there is no cure for this disease and treatment is focused only on relieving pain and fever.
Right, Prashant. Now it has been identified in over 60 countries across the world.
All this sounds so alarming to me.
Yes.
Zika virus is spread by Aedes mosquitoes. First case of Zika virus infection in humans was reported in 1960 in Nigeria.
Vikas uncle, is it a recently discovered disease?
Yes, Medha. For many years, it was limited to countries falling within a small strip around equator, such as Central Africa Republic, Egypt, Gabon, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam.
But now, uncle?
Vivek, few patients of Zika were seen in 2014 in French Polynesia and Easter Island.
Oh.
In 2015, Brazil observed an epidemic of microcephaly.
Microcephaly? What is this, uncle?
Vivek, microcephaly means small size of the head.
Oh.
Then it was discovered that the cause of babies born with small head is Zika virus infection in their mothers during pregnancy.
Usually, Zika virus does not cause much discomfort in the patient,
Then?
but is devastating in pregnant women, causing smaller head size in their unborn child, which may have low IQ levels later in life.
So, Uncle, was epidemic of Zika in Brazil due to global warming and climate change?
Yes, Medha, this epidemic started after heavy rains in southern Brazil and Uruguay in preceding winters.
And these rains cause much stagnant water bodies, which are favorable breeding grounds for Aedes mosquitoes.
Right, Prashant? And same thing may happen with cholera also.
And you know, Medha, in our childhood, cholera happened to be a common disease, killing thousands of people every year. But in last 50 years, it is disappearing gradually.
No, Prashant, no. Cholera is re-emerging now. Many patients of cholera are found in developed countries too.
Oh,
Why, Vikas, Uncle?
Medha, cholera is spreading by houseflies. These houseflies grow rapidly in hot and moist atmosphere.
Yeah.
In our last meeting at WHO headquarters, specialists were worried about re-emerging of cholera.
So, Uncle, you mean thawing of permafrost may reintroduce any diseases in future?
No, not any, but many, such as smallpox, which had been declared non-existent in 1980.
Vikas, Uncle, can we have altogether new diseases due to these climate changes? I mean, the diseases which never existed before.
It may happen, Medha. You see, in 2015, scientists discovered a giant virus which was active even after being buried for 30,000 years under the ice sheets.
Shocking.
Oh God, that is so shocking and amazing at the same time.
Vivek, but fortunately, it invades a type of amoeba only. But this may happen to some other organism with a capacity to invade humans also.
and I think it may be very dangerous as well.
Yes, Prashant, of course. Because for such disease, we will be helpless. As for these diseases, neither we have drugs and vaccines, nor our bodies would have immunity against them.
Like a science fiction movie.
See, Mama, see, I told you, Medha and her movies.
Vivek, Medha, World Health Organization published a list of such diseases which have the potential of being an epidemic.
Uncle, can you tell us some diseases?
Yeah, sure. These are Crimean Congo fever, Nipah virus disease, Rift Valley fever, Middle East respiratory syndrome, and severe acute respiratory syndrome.
Vikas, probably we do not have vaccine against any of these, right?
Yes, Prashant, you are right. Till now, we do not have effective drugs and vaccines against these viral diseases. Prevention is the only way out.
And that is possible by decreasing the rate of global warming.
And this needs better understanding, commitment, and cooperation.
Uncle, you mean?
It is true that we cannot halt or reverse these climate changes altogether, but we can decrease the rate of these changes by making some adjustments in our lives by becoming friend of nature. So, start it today to save our tomorrow.
Whispers of the Wind. You were listening to the 24th episode of this science serial produced by All India Radio in collaboration with Vigyan Prasar, titled Global Warming and Emerging New Diseases. This episode was written by and translated by Dr. Arvind Dubey. Coordinators were Dr. Nakul Parashar and Dr. Virendra Kumar Tyagi. This episode was directed by Sudarshan Kumar, presented by Dilip Jha, and assisted by Arvind Sharma. Participants were Nikhil Diwan, Gaurav Devgan, Mamta Malkani, Nitin Bhasin, Vasundhara Bose, and Rakshit Thapliyal. Hey listeners, please stay with us. Here are 2 questions for you. The lucky winners will get attractive prizes from Vigyan Prasar. The first question is, what is hookworm and how does it enter the body? I repeat the question, what is the hookworm and how does it enter the body? And the second question is, what is the anthrax? What is the anthrax? You can send your answers by simple post. Our address is Science Serial Whispers of the Wind, Director Vigyan Prasar, A50 Institutional Area, Sector 62, Noida 201301. You can also write on our email ID radio@vigyanprasar.gov.in. Please do write or mail us your full name, age and profession. If associated with Science Club, do let us know the membership of your club. If you have any query or question, do not hesitate to write to us. We will be back again with the next episode of this science serial, Whispers of the Wind, same day, same time next week. Till then, goodbye.